Welcome to episode 5 of the Frontier Journal. Today we are traveling to Bangkok, Thailand. This city is located on the Sea of Thailand and is the nation's capital. Bangkok is not only the most modern city in the nation, it serves as the cultural and commercial center. Bangkok has a population of roughly 9 million people, and the economic output of this city alone was 164 billion US dollars or 5.7 trillion baht in 2022. This accounted for most of the nation's GDP. Aside from this, Bangkok is the world's top tourist destination with over 20 million international visitors per year. If you are in the area and looking for places to stay, the city has a large portion of its economy dedicated to tourism from around the world, so you will find nice hotels and restaurants that cater to foreigners, especially English speakers. The exchange rate between the US dollar and the Thai baht is 1 to 33, meaning your dollar will go very far in Thailand. While travel agents may be a thing of the past in the United States, there are tourist agencies who cater to Westerners in Thailand. Just use them with caution, of course. The weather is very hot and humid, with mean daily average temperatures in the 90s year round and average humidity anywhere from 60 to 75%. Plan accordingly. This weather is typical of Southeast Asia, but compared to cities like Saigon, Vietnam, Thailand is actually much hotter. Temperatures tend to cool off at night, so at least there you can catch a break. Now, while discussing tourism in Bangkok, it's impossible to ignore the sex tourism industry, which is the subject of ire for many Westerners. Today, it is still a large industry, despite several attempts by the government to rein it in. For example, in 2014, the Thai government installed a female tourism minister, Cobra, who pledged to eradicate the sex industry and is quoted as saying, "We want Thailand to be about quality tourism. Tourists don't come to Thailand for sex, they come here for the beautiful culture." And in 2017, the Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha announced that he will order the police to dismantle the industry, claiming, "I don't support prostitution." But because prostitution is so prolific and the governing laws are nuanced and technical, the market still remains open to this day. This, as well as the police corruption and economic reliance, have made it nearly impossible to enforce laws governing these acts. While some officials in the government may want to eliminate this market, the remainder of the government, even down to the street level, appears to be dragging their feet. And the fact that the Thai government has done little to monitor or even evaluate the presence of sex workers in the nation kind of explains the further dilemma here. To summarize, sex tourism will continue to persist as it has for decades, with maybe minor interruptions in services in response to regulation or superficial government policy changes. Now, the name Bangkok is used commonly by foreigners, but the city is officially known in Thai as Krung Thep Maha Nakhon, which literally translates to large or great city. The English name Bangkok is derived from a name that dates to the time before the city was built. The village or district known as Bang of wild plums, Makok. Like much of Asia, the land known as Thailand today used to be known as the Kingdom of Siam, founded in 1782. This kingdom lasted until June 22, 1932, when the Siamese Revolution ended the absolute monarch rule of the Chikuri dynasty, transforming it into a constitutional monarchy with democratic processes and the creation of a national assembly. This bloodless coup promoted a Western approach to government as it was supported by Western educated commoners. The name of the Kingdom of Siam didn't change until June 23, 1939, when Luang Phibunsongkhram, one of the founders and organizers of the coup, who actually studied and got a lot of his ideas from France, he took charge as a dictator in 1938. His rule was characterized as forceful and nationalistic in nature, with the goal of modernizing the nation to compete with the world while maintaining their cultural identity. One explorer who began Thailand's course toward the Western world was Sir John Bowring, who was a British political writer and later the fourth governor of Hong Kong. From a young age, Sir John Bowring was immersed in the international trade, and in 1810 he acquired his first major deal, becoming a contract provider for the British Army during the Peninsular War, which was one of the many Napoleonic wars. In this case, the French invaded Spain starting in 1807 and withdrew in defeat in 1814. It was this experience traveling abroad for commercial interests which he would learn several languages, ultimately becoming well versed in the political affairs of Europe. And with this experience, he would later become the co-editor of the Westminster Review publication in 1824. He had many successes here, and in 1849 he became the superintendent of trade in China. With this experience, he was sent to Hong Kong as governor by the British Crown in 1854, and by 1855 he was appointed by Queen Victoria as emissary to Siam. It was at this time that Sir John Bowring pursued an eager trade deal with the Kingdom of Siam, later known as the Bowring Treaty. In Siam, Sir John Bowring was welcomed like foreign royalty, and his goals were met by King Mongkut, who was cordial and open-minded. Because the other trade agreements in the region had ended in disaster for both sides, the Bowring Treaty ensured Western powers would not intervene in Siam's international affair and allowed for the kingdom to remain an independent nation, unlike Vietnam, who was undergoing colonialism. This treaty also acted as a framework for several other Western nations, and in 1856 the United States signed the Treaty of Amity, Commerce, and Navigation with Siam, using the Bowring Treaty as a framework. Thank you for traveling with the Frontier Journal.